Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure unboxing video, and ladies and gentlemen, I have been looking forward to this video for a very long time. We are finally going to be taking a look at the Grandista Resolution of Soldiers Ultimate Gohan. I ordered this figure last year from Tokyo Taku Mode, and unfortunately that figure and a bunch of other figures have been stuck in shipping purgatory for quite some time now, unfortunately. So I just decided to pick this guy up recently with another figure from E-Night Media, so then that way I could get free shipping on my order, and whenever I get that other Ultimate Gohan, I'm just going to sell it or give it away or something like that. So I am hyped beyond belief because I have had so many opportunities to get this guy, but I was like, no, you have him pre-ordered, just wait. And I finally decided to bite the bullet, not just because I've really wanted to take a look at this guy for a while now, but of course, with the superhero hype going on right now, what a better time than now to take a look at some Gohan-related figures. As unfortunate as it is, there aren't even that many Gohan superhero figures to really take a look at the moment. When they do release, I do plan on taking a look at the ones that obviously I want to pick up, like the Ultimate Gohan. I will be getting that one eventually. But for now, we have the beautiful Grandista Gohan. It has also been a fat minute since I've opened up a Grandista figure as well. I can't even tell you the last time that I opened one. So I am quite excited about this from that front as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. We have our plain brown box with just the package inside. Very interesting that he's just he's just thrown asunder. He's just there. Very interesting that there's not more bubble wrap on this, and they just sort of put that in there. I am shocked that that bang did not break in the bag. Wow, okay. All right. Usually they're a little bit better about packaging that type of thing. I'm honestly a little surprised. Let's go ahead and crack into this bad boy. What section of him do we get out first? It's weird that it's torso, legs, head, and then stand. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and crack him open. I guess we'll just go in that order, as weird as that order is going to be. Now, this body for Gohan shouldn't be anything too crazy, right? It is your standard Grandista sort of thing here, right? If you have one Grandista figure from Goku's, side of things, you probably are getting this one pretty much the gist of it. It's basically the same type of thing, the same gi. The unfortunate thing about this is that there's no shading on the back. You can see, right, with Gohan's back, and there is a lot less shading as well on the skin, and then you bring it forward and you can see there's a lot more shadows actually like painted onto the figure, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I did know that going in. I remember seeing that on a bunch of the images of people posting when they finally got the figure. So let's go ahead and take the legs out now. Yeah, legs, same deal. We have a great paint job on the front, right? You can see that they're nicely shaded there, right? The boots look great, the pants look great, the obi belt looks great. And you turn around and bam! It's a completely different shade of orange. Not shaded at all. Again, very much so kind of unfortunate, but they do that because Bandai is cheap and likes to cut costs. Wow, I will say that is a very thick coupling. I don't think I've seen a coupling that thick in a while, but you literally just press the bad boy together and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. The boy is now together. Very cool. Let's actually press that down there. He can stand without the stand, as you can see there, but we obviously are going to give him the stand just because, I mean, it's easier to store the stand that way anyway, and obviously just for a little bit of reassurance. All right, so here is the head sculpt for Ultimate Gohan. Wow, this is pretty good. I gotta say, this is definitely a very nice head sculpt. I like the bang that they did as well. The cock to the side eye look, I think, looks really well. The sculpt of the Ultimate Gohan hair also looks really good too. I think they nailed it on the sculpt of the hair too. I will say there is something that is a little bit off-putting about his face for me. Maybe it's just because you can look at it like this and it looks a little bit weird. Maybe it is the black line on the mouth, because obviously older Grandista figures didn't used to do that, and now Bandai has gone down that route a little bit, but it looks really good. So let's go ahead and plot that on his cranium here. Actually, before we do that, let's just get the stand out since it'll literally take 2 seconds. Where are we here? Where is my stand? There we go. Had to find the hole in the packaging. It is literally just a black stand, by the way, which is a little bit unfortunate that it's not like a clear one, but usually those are in the Ichiban Kujis nowadays. And black is not necessarily the worst. Like, it could be an obnoxious color instead. So black is just fine because obviously it's a little bit less in your face. Alright, so let's see. So for the foot, I think it might be this one. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that fits in there right there. Very nice. Very nice small foot base. And that should just stand perfectly right there. Nice! Not too bad. Is he a little bit more wobbly, less wobbly? No, he's alright. Especially when you like press it down a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Alright. The piece de resistance. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna hurt my hand here doing this. Ow! Ow! Those are sharp. Ow! Be careful. Putting that on. Oh, okay. Let me pan the camera up a little bit for you here, because obviously we have a very goofy down angle here. Wow, that is. Oh, I don't know, boys. That's kind of minty fresh. That's pretty sick, if I do say so myself. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. I think the little bit of like you know, I always, granted, I'm very, very peculiar about my figure heads, right, and like how they look and all of that stuff. And I think on the body, though, the head looks a lot better than off. I mean, no duh, of course, it's supposed to be attached to the character. But man, this is a nice looking figure. Obviously, it has been a very long time since we've gotten, well, really any kind of Ultimate Gohan figure. I think the last one, which funny enough will be in today's video, is the Retsuden Ultimate Gohan. I can't really think of another one. I mean, obviously, besides the superhero one. Like, I'm talking, you know, Buu Saga Gohan, of course. This is a very, very nice looking figure, if I do say so myself. I think with the completed look here, the sculpt is really good. Like I said, really the only thing that's a bit of a shame about this figure in terms of the sculpt, right? Like, I think the sculpt is really good. I guess, actually, this is more of the paint job. I'm sorry. The back, obviously, being not shaded, right? Like, look at that complete difference in color from there to there, right? That's super dark, and that is super light. That is really the only thing, because obviously this is a three-dimensional object, so it's not like you're only going to be looking at it from one side. I mean, of course, you're going to be focusing on this side of the figure, right? Even like this, maybe, but if you're trying to get any shots like this, right, it's going to be a little bit awkward since the color is just so different from the front of him. That's really my only complaint with this guy. Otherwise, I think sculpt-wise and, you know, the front paint job is good. Let's go ahead and take a look at him now next to some other figures. Alrighty, as per usual, we have the Ichiban Kuji Gotenks and the Super Saiyan Blue WCF Goku. Of course, this being a Grandista figure, he is going to be quite large and, of course, closer to the Grandista scale, which is usually around a foot tall. That's kind of ish where they usually sit at. If we bust out the old ruler here, that bad boy is going to be about 11 1/4. I think that is just about right. On camera, it almost looks more like 11 1/2, but yeah, 11 1/4, just about there. Yeah, so basically just under a foot. Obviously a decent sized figure, and of course this being a Grandista figure, it makes sense that this is how big he would be. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some bad boys for size comparisons here. I have a couple ones that I'm going to do quick, and then we have some big kahunas on the plate today. So please excuse the dust on this figure. He's been sitting around for a little bit, but the last Ultimate Gohan figure, at least to my knowledge, might have to double check that in between the video, we of course have the Retsuden Ultimate Gohan. Now, this figure is sculpted very well. This is probably one of the better, if not one of the best figures in the Retsuden line, considering the Retsuden line is big stinky. And even though this figure is very small, it's still very good, but like, man, there's just something about that Grandista that's, ooh, beautiful. It is cool to see these guys next to each other, and the only interesting thing really of note, besides the fact that they both, I think, nailed a sculpt of him, is that the orange is a lot different of a tone on these two. Very interesting choice in the color scheme there. Moving our boy off, though, Of course, you know I had to bring out some Buu Saga characters, and I don't really have too many, unfortunately, but I figured one that would be a decent pairing here would be the base form Grandista Vegeta, obviously with this guy, right? Careful, bro. Careful. I'm so glad I caught that. I'll just hold them as the pictures go. Obviously, with this guy, he is in his Buu Saga outfit. Of course, the original version of this figure is a Super Saiyan Vegeta and a Majin Vegeta head, so it makes sense that obviously the base form one is just the Buu Saga Gi. But these two actually do look pretty cool together, obviously with sort of the same theme going on here. It is very nice to see these guys as well. Obviously, both of them being, well, not in base form, but having black hair, I think matches really, really well for the two of them. Besides your boy Vegeta, you know I had to bring out, of course, and this isn't necessarily a Buu Saga figure. This is just more general, I guess. But of course, I had to bring out the OG base form Goku. I almost called him Super Saiyan Goku. And these guys look really, really cool together. Wow, it is so cool to see father and son with the black hair going on. That looks really, really nice. The color in the orange here is a huge difference, by the way. Look how dark orange it is on Gohan compared to the boy Goku, who is a very, very much so lighter orange. Almost like a, sort of getting to like brown tones, almost, I feel like. Not quite there, maybe, but definitely kind of close to that, I think. Definitely, though, a very, very cool pairing to see these two next to each other, and I cannot wait to have them on the shelf. Now, you know that I had to do this. Actually, before we go to the final figure, I did want to test one thing real quick. If we take off Goku's head, right? Oh, okay. That's right. I always forget this about this figure. His whole head is attached like this, and it's not just like Gohan where you just stick it on the peg. So unfortunately, you cannot replace their heads despite being from the same line. However, I think you may be able to do that, funny enough, with the last figure in our set here. And of course, I had to bring out, oh, I love this figure so much, dude. The Super Saiyan 3 Goku Grandista Nero. Wow, seeing these two together is awesome. This is obviously your full Buu Saga glory right here. Wow, wow, wow. Seeing these two next to each other is honestly like a powerful image. Images that go hard. This is so sick, seeing these guys next to each other. Obviously, the sculpt of Goku is quite literally just the Goku body from the base form Goku, except with his arms down. Ironically enough, the arms may be the same sculpt for these two, because obviously they are really close. Their hands are a little bit different. You can tell Gohan has his thumbs sort of resting over his fist, while Goku has his thumbs curled in. So they aren't the exact same, right? But the arms definitely look very, very similar in sculpt. Obviously, Goku is a tad bit bigger, even just in bulk, right? So it's definitely not exactly the same sculpt, but you can tell that there was definitely some, you know, like a little bit of retooling, probably. Like, I'm sure that the boots are probably the same, even though the ties are a little bit different. I don't know. It is literally the same sculpt, and I mean, that's not really the fault of the figure. I mean, they literally are wearing the same outfit, basically. So, before I show you Gohan's final pictures here, because these two look amazing together, we have to try this out. If we take off Gohan's head, and I have to be very careful when doing this because Goku's head is extremely heavy. If I take off Goku's head here, oh boy, I'm a little bit scared to do this because I think when I originally put Goku's head on, I told myself I'm never going to take this thing off. But for the sake of science, I will take it off. Hold on, let me do it off camera. Okay, I had to be very, very careful with that. One thing I will give Gohan, by the way, is that Goku's arms do kind of brush up against his legs real quick. And even though, or real quick, a little bit is what I meant to say. And even though Gohan kind of looks like he does here, when I put the figure on, it didn't feel like that. So that's pretty good. All right, Gohan's head on Goku. Let's see. No, it does not fit. It kind of... You could probably force it on there. Alright, that is quite goofy if I do say so myself. If you maybe either made the hole for Gohan's head a little bit bigger, or you made the peg for Goku's head a little bit smaller, then maybe that would work. But I am noticing now that I'm looking at the two pegs, right? The peg for Goku's head is a lot more wide this way, right? While the peg for Gohan's head is a lot more bigger up and down, I guess you would say, right? Horizontal rather than vertical, so it makes sense. However, since I have this thing in my hand, I have to test it. Okay, no, because of the hair, right? I'm not going to try and force this on here, obviously, because this thing is pretty delicate. But because of the hair, right, and the angle that it's at, you actually can't press this down anymore than it already is. That is a little bit of a shame, because it would have been cool to be able to change the geese, but it is what it is. I wasn't expecting that as a feature, obviously. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. I absolutely love this figure. I'm so glad I decided to just bite the bullet and get this guy, considering I could have been waiting for this man for so long. And of course, with the superhero hype going on, what a better time than now to be cracking into some Gohan figures. If, of course, you would like to pick this guy up for yourself, you can do so in the link in the description. Amazon actually has this guy on sale, like, a lot, and he is a really cheap figure. This guy usually, from what I've seen recently, has been going for around 25 bucks. I think I got mine for around 20, 21, something like that. A fantastic price for a figure of this high quality and this size. Definitely worth picking up for your collection, whether you're a Gohan fan, whether you're just a Dragon Ball fan, if you like the Buu Saga. Everything above, this figure is definitely worth picking up. And if you would like to support me picking up more Gohan figures in the future, and of course more Dragon Ball figures in general, the Patreon is an option for a little bit of extra support. But of course, please do not feel obligated. It is just appreciated, obviously, with the extra support. But you watching the videos is what I value the most, because of course, you know, why else would I make them? But thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe so I know you guys are enjoying the content. And without further ado, I will catch you guys in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.